All right, so this is our first assignment for CSC, not CSC, IST 108. Let me get my discipline right. So this is a case study, and there's a whole bunch of these happening throughout the semester. This first one, I just want to kind of walk through with you guys to get a good understanding of what we're trying to do, what I'm expecting at you, and what you might see in some of these other case studies. So without further ado, let's go ahead and transition to that screen. So here you can see I have the first case study in front of us, and it wants us to document the steps to power management using the Quick Access Tools menu. So this is an in-act class activity to demonstrate how to document step-by-step instructions, work together in class to get started with this assignment. So, as I said, we kind of want to go through this together. Now, first thing I always like to point out is this file was downloaded from the internet, so you might see this file was downloaded from the internet badge across the top. Let me go ahead and pull up EpicPen. There we go. Move that off the way. So up here at the top, whoa, yeah, it's a thick one. So just like to point that out, make sure you guys kind of understand that you can't edit this file until you click the enable editing button. Kind of annoying, that's okay. For some of these, you may just want to start from scratch. You don't actually have to use this. So for our purposes today, let's go ahead and do that. And let's get a new window going, blank document. There we go. Ooh, come on, dock to the left. Perfect. All right, so we're going to be creating steps, and I'm just going to put a nice little title on this: steps to access power management using the Quick Access Tools menu. All right, and if you really want to get fancy here, you should be making that nice little heading or something along those lines. Now, a great way to be doing this, which will allow you to kind of keep better control over everything, is to be using tables for your steps. All right, it might be a little annoying to do that, but that way it allows you to have a picture on the one side and then have text right next to it. It'll allow you to crop things and all this other fun stuff to keep it a little bit better. Now, because we're gonna have a lot of pictures in this, I want as much document real estate as I can get, so I'm gonna go ahead and change my margins down to 1/2 inch. Just gives us an extra inch of document. Keep it as 8.5 by 11 for me. All right, and I'm back. Battery died. All right, so anyway, keep this as 8.5 by 11. It'll just make life a little bit easier overall. And that way, if we do ever want to print this, it's easy to print. It's not like we're going to have to print an 11 by 17 or something like that. So let's keep it this way. So we're going to go ahead and insert ourselves a table here. I'm going to go with 3 wide, and I'm just a whole bunch long for right now. First column, I'm just going to have be my step number. So I'm going to title them steps, pictures, and yeah, text, or yeah, we'll go with text for now. Probably better wording for all of this. However, I don't have it off the top of my head. We're going to bring that nice and shallow. Just start, put a few numbers in here for now. Don't know how many this is going to take. All right, so we need to get to the Quick Access Tools menu. Now, for those of you who do not know, who are super familiar with Windows or not power users or whatever you want to go with, the Quick Access menu is one way to access it is by right-clicking on the Start menu. So if we go ahead down here with my wonderful little arrow there, yeah, I curved that on purpose. We're going to go with that. If you were to right-click on that, that will bring up your Quick Access menu. So you can see we've got desktop, shut down, sign out, run, search, yada, yada, yada. All sorts of different options here, and these are all things that you might actually use on a normal basis or whatever. And I often come in here for Device Manager. That's actually probably what I use this menu for the most, would be the Device Manager option. But hey, maybe Power Options or Event Viewer or something else is what you're going to need. Ooh, Disk Management is in here too. Didn't know that. But today we're going to be using the Power Options. So, we got to get some screenshots or something going on here to help direct us to that. Now, there are a few options when it comes to screenshots. All right. Probably most of you, especially if you've used computers for a while, a long time ago, there was a print screen button on the keyboard. Good news, that does still exist. All right. So I just hit the print screen button on my keyboard. They're all in slightly a little different location, but most of them are located across the top of your keyboard. You gotta kind of hunt and search and find that on your own. Here we go. Just pull a little picture up. There's it on this whatever random keyboard this is. All right, so it says PRT SCR. Depending on your computer, if you're on a laptop, you may have to do a little function and press that button or whatever the case is. So for mine, I have a print screen button. Everything's a little different. I have a more immediate keyboard, so mine's not going to be the same. But anyway, I hit that print screen button once, and now if I paste, Control V, right click, however you want to paste it, you'll notice though it captured my entire desktop. All right, that's obviously not the picture that we want. All right, we want to keep this on the simpler side. All right, so we don't want the whole desktop. Now, you might want the first picture to be your main desktop screen or something along those lines. For me, I have two monitors, which is why you see this like black bar at the bottom of my screen here. It's because the Word document is my right screen, this other one's my left screen. Even if you only have one screen, you maybe print screen will work for the first step, but to each their own. All right, so you have to do what you think is going to be the best option here. All right, now for my purposes, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my text there. Another option that you can use for capturing your desktop is the Snipping Tool. If you go down to the Start menu and just start SNI, you will get the Snipping Tool right there. And we can go ahead. And that has 4 different modes. You have a freeform snip. It's kind of fun to play with, but I've never actually used it for anything productive. You have the rectangular snip, which is probably my favorite. You have a window snip, which will grab an entire monitor. You think it would just grab like one open program or something like that, but this grabs the entire monitor from what I can tell. And then you have the full screen snip, which in my case grabs both monitors. So if I just do a window script snip, you can see it's grabbing either my right monitor, everything isn't grayed out, or my left, and it grays out the right monitor. So not really what I want. So if I click on my left monitor, you can see, come on, to the main monitor. There you go. You can see that it captured my left screen right now. All right. So that's not really what I want. All right. Now, if you're only trying to get the window that's open or like a specific like Word document or something like that, the freeform or the rectangular snip would be my suggestion. Notice everything kind of goes gray, and then you can drag and select and do those types of things to make your life a little bit easier. Also, there is this delay option. So delay snip, and mine's at no delay. If you need to open some menu or something that you're trying to capture, say we're trying to show you how to save the Word document, set that to like a 5-second delay, say new, you're going to see the Snipping Tool window disappear, and you're going to have 5 seconds to open up whatever menu it is that you want to open up. So here we go, new, click on File, still a few seconds, I might want to open this up too. Everything goes grayed out, and now I can select that window with the menus and everything else, where if you didn't do that, you would never get back into that menu, because as soon as you click off a thing, sometimes it goes back. So that's what that delay feature is. Really powerful. You may need to come in here just for that purpose and use the Snipping Tool alone. However, Microsoft Word also kind of has a Snipping Tool built right into it. So if we go to the Insert tab and we go to Screenshot under the Illustration section, you'll notice there is a screen clipping button. It will let you select the individually opened windows, which I find to be very useful. So if you did want to put the whole Microsoft Word window into it, we'll go with the assignment. There we go. Oh, it actually doesn't even grab the title. That's kind of nice. But anyway, so you can do that way. However, for our purpose, we want the start bar, and that obviously isn't an option up here. So you can do that screen clipping. Now when you do this again, you're going to have like a second or so of time to open menus or whatever, but that one's not configurable. So kind of a little bit annoying there. So you might need to go to that Snipping Tool if you do need a longer delay to open menus or things like that. So for our purpose right now, I'm just going to select screen clipping. Notice that Word document did disappear because they go, well, you're going to be putting it in this document, so you probably don't want this document to be part of that snip. So that's why that minimized. You also said saw as I said, that there was like a 1 second delay or whatever there for you to open menus. It's not a lot, so something to be aware of. Now we can select our entire desktop. All right, and boom, it throws it in there. And now we're gonna want to resize this. All right, so we can get some text space. Now, I suggest making your snips all the same width, if that makes sense too, obviously. And we're going to crop this down some first because we don't really need this whole right half of the window. So I'm going to right click, going to select crop. I'm just going to go with half of the screen. And I'm actually going to come down from the top as well. I don't think you need the whole desktop there. And then I'm going to make this with a nice even 3 inches. 3 inches? Yeah, we're going to go 4. 4 sounds good. Alright, and I'm going to bring my column over. So I'm not going to go any wider than 4 inches with any of my pictures. And now we're going to put our text in here. So I will say, when looking at the desktop, in the bottom, actually, let's start this. Alright, to access the power management menu using the quick access tools menu, start by I'm going to go with right clicking the start menu in the bottom left hand corner of your screen. I'm going to put a note. The start menu may be located elsewhere if you have configured it to your specifications. Because you can make that start menu move. So if I actually right click on this, unlock it, I can drag it to the top of the screen. So now it's at the top. I think my brother does a right side or a left side. That always annoys living daylights out of me a little bit. Oh man, everything's unhappy. Let's get that back down before my computer really freaks out. But anyway, so we got our little note there. Now I am going to add a little extra to this, because right now they're like, well, what's the start menu? Now you could put a little, picture of the start menu button in your text, or you could, however you want to do this. I'm going to go ahead and insert a shape with an arrow pointing down there. I am going to make this a little bit of a beefier arrow because I don't like that. Yeah, 6-point font. That looks pretty good. Actually, no, can we go even bigger? Wait, more lines. Yeah, let's make this a little bit ridiculous. But anyway, all right, and I'm going to change the color of it while I'm at it. Let's go ahead and make that red so it really pops out. All right, now the other thing I want you guys to do, well, I would say is group these, but because right now, if something happens, we move this down, not always does the arrow follow the picture. That's one of those things that annoys the living daylights out of me, when someone puts a picture in and then it's in preview mode or something funky and the arrow doesn't move with it, and you're like, why aren't the arrows lining up? Well, it's because they were never actually connected together. This is referencing, it looks like that top of that picture. So actually, if I put a space in, it is moving with it very nicely. So we'll be all right. If your arrows aren't moving, make sure you group them to the picture so that way they stay where they are supposed to be staying. All right. Now, my next step will be, all right, and I'm gonna do a snipping tool now. Actually, let's see if we can do it from right inside Word. Insert screenshot. Ready? We're gonna try and do this quick. Wait, and boom. Time. Awesome. Now I can just grab our quick start menu there. All right, and we're gonna crop this down from the top a little bit. We're gonna leave it all the way at the top though. Okay. And I'm going to shrink this up a little bit. It doesn't need to be as tall. Again, to each their own type of thing. I'm going to put it in the center. Now I'm also going to go ahead and throw a nice box over this where Power Options is. All right, now again, my box is solid blue right now, not what we want. So make sure you change your shape fill to none. And let's go ahead and bring the weight of this up some. And then let's go ahead and make it red just like the other one. Now, if you're going to have multiple things in the one menu that you need to select, do multiple different color boxes. And then, you could say see figure in step 2 and say the blue box instead of the red box or something like that. Now, also, use proper terminology. Don't say press enter or unless you actually need to press enter. So right click was a very specific, they had to right click on it. This time I'm going to say, select the Power Options text from the list that appeared. I'm going to say it should be second from the top. Okay. So now we're in there, so I can go ahead and do that myself. Right click, power options. And again, I'm going to kind of bring this down. All right. So we've got a smaller window now. And now we're going to say insert, and I'm going to go to screenshot. And this time, oh, it's not giving me that option. That's kind of fun. I was going to say I'm just going to select the settings menu, but it's not giving me that as an option here. So I'll do another screen clipping. Once I get the chance, we'll just go ahead and grab that. And let's just go ahead and make this one 4 inches. Give me some nice place for text. And we're going to say, in this menu, you can change the screen timeout or the sleep timeout. And if more complex settings are necessary, select additional power settings. And again, I'm going to put a box around this. Now, just because, I got rid of it, that's kind of fun. Just because in mine it's located at the bottom here, if I maximize this again, you'll notice additional power settings are on the right side of my screen, and you guys can just barely, and I mean barely, see it under my picture there. All right. So I'm going to make a note of that in the list, so that way anyone using this would know. The additional power settings may be located on the right side of the screen, depending on your monitor. Yeah, we'll go with monitor resolution. All right, and then if I click on that myself, we'll go ahead and select that. Let me go ahead and clear this. Bring that down. And then that's overall the end of it, right? So I don't need step 4, so let me go ahead and just delete that one, delete the entire row. I'm just going to say from here, you can modify the advanced power options. All right. So that is overall what I'm expecting kind of out of this first assignment. You don't have to use the exact same wording as I did, obviously. This is your own assignment. Make it how you like it. But I just kind of wanted to give you an example of the steps and all the boxes and things like that. There may be steps where you don't need an image, all right? And I'm completely on board with that. You'll also notice how I kind of broke this first one into 2 steps. I could have probably done this and the first step image in the same step. At least, one image capture, but this made it a lot, nicer for them to be able to view what the menu and things like that are. So that's why I wanted to do it as 2 separate screens. All right. If you want to get really fancy, which you really should do this, we should go into table properties and make, where is it? Repeat as header at the top of each page. Now notice I've selected that first row, and once I click that button, you'll notice that now it appears down here. And if for some odd reason, this went on and on and on, you'll notice that it appears at the top of every page. So that is another thing that you guys should do. We'll just end it there. You should do it. All right. I will probably be looking for something along those lines. Now, the document for the homework does continue. It says write a 50-word scenario for this instruction set. Now, do you have to write 50 words exactly? Yes. No, actually you don't. All right. You just need to get 50-ish. All right. Now, 30 is not 50-ish. 40 is not 50-ish. 48, I'll call that 50-ish. All right. So, it should really be 50 or more. So you should be looking between the 50, 70, somewhere in that range. I'm not going to take off points if you wrote a 100-word scenario for the instruction set. All right. for 100-word scenario for this, but you should have at least 50. It needs to have enough detail that if I said, okay, now you guys are going to do this as a homework assignment, Bob in class created this scenario, you got to complete it now. You guys need to understand what he's actually looking for. So make sure it is complex enough that they understand what they're doing, what they're trying to create a how-to for, but not overly complex. So something to think about. And I would put that at the very top. So here I have my steps. Make another one that says scenario, and then you could say this is where we're gonna type stuff in. Just for fun here, is this how I do this again? No, I messed that up. All right, so I'm just gonna say that here is my scenario 2. There we go. I have my scenario all written up for you guys. Let's see, how many words did I get that to? Oh man, I had 123 words. I only need half of that, so let's go ahead and just delete half of that for good measure. There we go, my 50-ish scenario right there. All right, and then notice it says file name, so it has a very specific file name that we are looking for. All right, so when we're going to save this, we're going to do a save as. All right, you're going to browse to wherever it is that you want to put this. This is going to be IST-108- in our case. We are section 02, so make sure you got that right. Dash and CS3a dash, and remember your initials. So mine would be GAB. All right, and we are using a docx file. If you're going to use a doc file, that'd be fine as well. All right, but it should be a Microsoft Word file, and we can go ahead and hit save. All right, and we have now created our first assignment. Now, many of you probably have already used D2L for this purpose. All right. However, if you have not, let me go ahead and bring up the assignment as from the student perspective. Boom. All right. So if we go ahead to August 31st, here is assignment CS3. Oh, you can't officially open it until tomorrow or Monday. That is a bit annoying from my perspective, but we should still be able to do it from the teacher perspective. All right, let's go ahead down. Let's go ahead. New topic. Is this going to let me do it? No, it is, of course, not going to let me do it. However, when you do this, make sure you actually get your file uploaded. All right. If it's not uploaded, I think there's like a 2-step process here to upload your file. First, you have to select it, then you have to say upload. All right, so make sure you get those correct. If you just select the file and never hit upload, your file will never get uploaded. You should have an email in your inbox with saying you've completed this assignment, or you've turned this assignment in, something along those lines. That is your proof of assignment completion, that if I ever go, why didn't you do this assignment? You can go, I did, and here it is, and you can pull up the file for me, and everything else is all hunky-dory. So make sure that you do keep that email, throw it in a folder in your inbox, so that way you have it in case. I don't think it's happened recently, but I know when we first went to D2L, some teachers weren't getting the file submissions from students, and the students were like, why am I failing this class? And students like the teacher, and teachers are going, you didn't turn anything in. They're going, here's all my assignments, and they showed the download, the link that they got, and they're like, huh. That is interesting. So make sure that you do get that email saying this file has been submitted. All right, so that is kind of a quick how to do this. This is an actual assignment that you guys will be completing and uploading for me. So make sure you get that done by the due date, which you can see is right here, September 6th. Have a good one, guys.